Hey, this is Mitch down in the fitness center. How you doing? So we're going to talk about some kind of chronic knee pain, chronic shoulder pain today, and some things you can do to help relieve that. A lot of times, chronic pain in your knees and your shoulders don't really have to do with what's going on in your knees and your knees and your shoulders. It's about the muscles around your knees and your shoulders, and if they're tight, if there's a lot of restrictions going on in there, they are pulling your joints into weird positions that are causing pain. So what soft tissue work can do is help unknot some of those restrictions. I just want to show you some techniques you can use in the fitness center or maybe even at home to help ease those restrictions. Okay, keep in mind a couple of things. First of all, soft tissue work at first, if you haven't done this before, may be uncomfortable. If it is uncomfortable, then a lot of times that's a sign that you need it, because soft tissue work should not be, if everything's kind of loose and in good shape, soft tissue work should not be all that uncomfortable. So uncomfortable, by what I mean is, you find that spot and you dig your finger in, you're like, oh, that's showing you, okay, there's a knot here, there's a restriction here, something's going on. You want to help wear through that, of course, in a sensible way. So I'm going to give you some techniques for your shoulders, for your and for your hips and around your knees. So hopefully help relieve some of that stuff. Of course, if you have any questions about this, come down to the fitness center. We have all the equipment you need to do this in the fitness center. You might even have some at home as well. So let's get going. Okay, so if the muscle in here is tight, and if you have rounded shoulders, rounded or elevated shoulders, it's very likely that the muscles kind of in your pecs and all through here are tight, including this muscle that's kind of right in between your shoulder and your pec, kind of right in that area, right in the middle, called the pec minor. And the pec minor, what that does is it kind of pulls your scapula, your shoulder blades forward. So if it's tight, you're going to have this position going on, which can create a lot of pain over time. So you're going to take a lacrosse ball, again, or a tennis ball. You're going to put it right on that spot, kind of right between your shoulder and your chest, and get it right up against the wall. And just lean into it, move around a little bit. Now the key here is, when you do this, you want to put the ball where you want it. You want to and get right there. Don't look for the ball. What I mean by that is sometimes people will get the ball against the wall and they kind of try to get to the ball. Don't do that, because if you tense up that shoulder, nothing here is going to release with the ball. You got to make sure you are as relaxed as possible through here and get in there. Okay, and then just basically just lean into it, roll around, find those magical spots, and go from there. So I'm going to show you how to use a lacrosse ball to roll out some of the tight muscles in your rotator cuff. This is very common if you have shoulder pain when you're trying to move your arms and you kind of feel that little catch. A lot of that comes from the rotator cuff. So what you're going to do is take a lacrosse ball. You can also use a tennis ball if the lacrosse ball is a touch too intense at first. You're going to lie down on the ground, bring your arms straight up. And you don't want to be here. You want to really open up that shoulder capsule as much as you can. You're going to get this ball right behind your armpit. There's a little notch back there. You'll feel it. Just get that ball right in there. Move that a little bit. And then just roll. What I like to tell people is, if you aren't sure that you have the right spot, you do not have the right spot. It's very apparent when you hit the right spot with this. What I like to do is just move around slightly, little by little, very tiny little movements. When you find a particularly joyful spot, just sit there for a second, breathe, let that muscle kind of melt around it, okay? I'm going to show you this from the other angle so you can kind of see what it's doing. Get that ball again, get that arm up, get that ball right in that notch, and just lie there and just let the ball do the work. Relax as much as you can and breathe through it. So this one, you're rolling out your lat. So your lat is the muscle that kind of goes from here, kind of down through there, through your back. And again, if your shoulders are really tight, it's very likely your lats are going to be very tight and kind of pull your shoulders into some weird spots. So what we want to do here, this is a foam roller. We have them down in the fitness center. You're going to lie on the ground, arm up, with that roller right in your armpit, okay? And we're just going to look down at the ground with our palm down. And then we're just going to roll over and exhale and roll all the way over. Turn our palm up Get a nice exhale. Go back the other way. Just like that, nice and controlled. And we're trying to roll literally from our chest all the way to behind that area. Okay, when we roll over. So we're not just doing this. We're getting that full range. So I'm looking at the ceiling. I'm looking at the ground. I'm going to do about 3 or 4 here, and then I'm going to move that roller down just an inch or so, and I'm going to go again. So we're hitting that lat. Okay, roller does not move. We move over the roller. So if you have knee pain that is kind of in the center of your knee, then a lot of times the cause of that can be your quad, which is the muscle on top of your leg. If that's very tight, it's going to pull on that kneecap a little bit, and that can cause pain. So one way to combat that a little bit is the foam roller. All right, so what you're going to do here to do that is you're going to lie down on the foam roller with your the roller right above your knee. You don't need to roll over the kneecap. And you're just going to get that roller all the way up to just below your hip and then back down. Right through there. My head's going to leave the frame, but you get the idea. So if you have pain on the inside of your knee, a lot of times that can be because the muscles on the inside of your thigh, your hip adductors, can be tight. And they're kind of pulling your kneecap inside, which is giving kind of putting them in a bad position. So how the roller can help that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to take the roller and you're going to want to bring that roller to that angle, straight up and down. You're going to lie right on top of it with your leg out to about a 90-degree angle, and we're rolling side to side. So I'm rolling from my hip just to my knee, side to side. And that's getting those muscles inside our legs. And on the flip side of that, if you have pain on the outside of your knee, it could be because the muscles on the outside of your leg, known as the IT band, can be tight. And again, it's pulling your knee outside. Okay, so as you're going to want to do that, get the roller there. We're going to lie on top of the roller here. I like to have this foot over there so we can kind of adjust the pressure. This can be a little uncomfortable. I'm just going to roll down. And again, same range of motion. You want to get right below your hip to right above your knee. Getting the IT band. So if you have that kind of generalized knee pain and you don't really feel comfortable on the floor, or the roller is a little too intense, which it can be at first, you're going to use one of these. And if you might, this is a massage stick. There's a million different versions of these. It's just got these, I'll show you, these little nodules that move around. You can use a rolling pin if you're at home. It's really the same thing. So what you're going to do is just literally roll out your leg. So just boom, apply a pretty good amount of pressure when you're doing this, and you want to get all angles. You want to get inside, you want to get at top, you want to get outside, you want to get the hamstring underneath. Okay, and put some pressure on that, and you're going to notice when you're doing all of that which spots feel like they need the most work. And by needing the most work, I mean the ones that are a little less comfortable, because soft tissue work really shouldn't be that uncomfortable. So the more you feel it, the more that kind of area is a little tight. So you need to do that. So I would suggest using the massage stick until you are able to use the roller, because the roller is going to be more effective in the long run. So hopefully some of those things can help kind of ease at least a little bit what you have going on. Again, if you have any questions, come down to the fitness center. What I found is that with soft tissue work, usually if you're doing it 2-3 times a week, within a couple weeks, you really start to notice a difference. But you do have to kind of give it at least a couple of weeks to get to that point. And then it actually starts to feel good, and you're going to just start to feel more circulation, looser muscles, more range of motion. It's a good thing overall. So if you have any questions, let me know. Talk to you soon. Bye.